How many times do you disagree with your partner a day? Everyone is different, and there are different ways to resolve conflict when it comes to your relationships as well.
So we've got a couple of very special guests back joining us about how to resolve those disagreements. Chris and Gina are back. Excuse me to both of you. Thanks so much for being here. It's great to have you back.
Thank you for having us back.
I know the first time you guys were here, you know, I kind of joked that you guys never fight and you must be the perfect couple, but I love the fact that you guys say it's all right to have disagreements, but it's how you resolve them. And you're here to kind of talk about 4 points that can help you when you have, whether it's maybe just have a pet peeve with your significant other, or you have one of those big blowout fights.
Absolutely. Any married couple, anybody in a relationship, those fights are going to happen. You can't get around them at all. So yeah, we'll talk about 4 different things that can maybe help you, give you some solid points that can help you work through those small ones or those really big ones.
And the whole focus here is really about how do you build empathy through that disagreement? How do you start to understand, you know, getting the feelings of your spouse, of your partner, to understand where are they at coming into this disagreement. I know where I am, I know what my feelings are, but what are Gina's feelings? Where is she at? And if I can better build that empathy, then I actually have a better way of working through that disagreement, that
so
fight.
Is that first on the list?
Ground rules, I think, will be the first one.
Ground, yeah.
So set some ground rules as a couple. So are we going to fight in front of the kids? No. Are we going to slam doors? No. I mean, and it's different. Ground rules can be different for every couple.
It's really, you know, for us, it's realizing that everyone kind of has a different way that they approach things. And so how do you know, for me, I really struggle. I will put my foot in my mouth very quickly if I respond to something emotionally. So if I'm upset with Gina about something, I will, one of our ground rules is she gives me space to let me work through it. Now that doesn't mean I get to go a week and work through it, but you know, maybe an hour or two to go kind of collect myself so that I don't put my foot in my mouth and make a small disagreement into a much larger fight.
Because we hold on to that forever. Women do.
Yes, when you say it, you can't take it back.
That's a good point. What's number 2 on your list then?
Number 2
is
asking questions.
Asking questions is another great one. So the ability to ask well, open-ended questions with a desire and a genuine intention of learning more about where Gina is. So it's not an interrogation. It's not a, let me ask you this yes-no question that puts you in a corner that your answer to that question now proves that I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah. Why did you do that?
Point.
Why did you do that? What were you thinking?
Okay.
It's not those types of questions. It's to gain understanding of what happened. Maybe
would you help me understand why you responded in this way? What were your feelings? What were you feeling at that time? Help me understand more about what happened. Now, the hard part of asking those questions is you may not like the answer. You may disagree with the answer that they give, but if I can at least accept it, I start to build more empathy.
Wow. Yeah, because
really
feelings are real, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
So asking that question as to why you're feeling like that. Okay.
Absolutely.
What's the next step?
Not letting it fester.
Oh, that's
Yep.
a good one.
You can't let it fester.
I think the best visualization, I'll let Gina kind of give examples, but I think the best visualization we gave is, ever think of you getting a splinter in your hand or a wound, something that maybe you just think, oh, it'll just go away, and you never really put a Band-Aid on it or cover it. And then a couple days later, you start to see that it's infected, and now you really have to go in and dress it and fix it. And it's become worse than what it was to begin with. So if you just don't let it fester, you address it sooner rather than later, you can prevent it from becoming something more than it should
Always talk about it. You know, they say, don't go to bed angry. Right. Well, sometimes the fights happen at night, and you gotta wait the night. Just circle back to it, always talk about it. Because I think where couples get into trouble, if they let things go and they don't talk about them, they can get into kind of a deep hole that's hard to get out of.
And they start stacking multiple issues together. So they take 3, 4, 5 little issues, and then all of a sudden, you say the wrong thing, and then that becomes the sort of the proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back. And then the other spouse is like, what's going on?
So. Where did that come from? Yeah.
And then the last one for us, point number 4, is let go of the little stuff. Easier said than done, but when I promised to marry my wife, I promised to love her as she is. And so every time I have the opportunity to let go of something little, a pet peeve or something that she might do that annoys me, it's an opportunity for me to show my love for her without throwing it back at her and saying, you're not perfect, you're not exactly the way I need you to be, but accepting her for how she is.
Toilet seat up is okay.
Right? The toilet paper roll the other way is okay, right? I mean, just letting some of those little things go, because it's really not that important.
When do you come up with these ground rules? And you're so calm now, but that must have, right now, after a fight, I mean, just...
When you are calm, right,
Okay.
when you're in a good spot is the best time to define those ground rules.
You guys are
know,
so
great stuff.
inspiring. It's really great stuff. I just think all of us can use this advice. So thank you. We'll have to have you guys on again soon. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next here on North Dakota Today, how you can help make wishes come true.